However, we also give you a way to scan by IP address range, so you can shorten it depending on which machine you want. Or if you already know those computer names because you're managing them, you can actually select specific ones. That's a specific department. Put into a simple flat file or text file. You can import that to map too. So we give you quite a bit of flexibilities about how to target either all machines or a select set of those machines, whatever that you desire to analyze the Windows Server readiness or Windows Server readiness.
Okay. Well, now we have, I think, we've planned it, right? We have a hardware inventory of what machines are capable from map. And at this point, we probably want to squeeze in the ACT tool, and that's not any of you here right now to figure out our application story. But assuming we have all of our apps are perfectly compatible, at this point we want to deploy. And that's, I think, where you're going to come into play, right?
Yes, the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. The Microsoft Deployment Toolkit helps users consolidate all the tools that Microsoft provides to help with deployment, and also provides guidance on how to use those tools. There are two main scenarios. There's one for people who have an SCCM 2007 infrastructure, where MDT just installs custom actions and task sequence templates on top of your configuration manager installation. And we also have a light touch installation scenario that uses the tools that are freely available. And we build an MMC snap-in that we call the Deployment Workbench that provides a consolidated UI so users can navigate through the steps in a deployment.
Let's talk a little bit more about the other option that you just mentioned there, which is the people that don't have SCCM in their environment. Can you give me a little more details of what that all entails for them?
Well, first they need to download the Windows Automated Installation Kit, which we call the
WAIK.
We do love acronyms.
We got Windows AIK.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
I just call it the wake tool. It wakes me up.
The Y.
Officially, it's Windows AIK, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So, the Windows Automated Installation Kit provides a wide variety of functionality and tools to help you with your deployment, from Windows PE to the user state migration tool set to the ImageX and a plethora of tools, and it provides a lot of functionality. But the downside is there's not that consolidated UI, so you have to figure out how to use all of them together. So with MDT, you install the MDT MMC, and then it guides you through that process step by step. The first step would be gathering your source files and importing them into what we call a deployment share in MDT. And for people who had used MDT in the past, we used to call that a deployment point and a distribution share, but we've switched the terminology around in this new version. Same thing though, same concept.
Well, now they know.
Yes,
right?
Now they know. Right. You import the files, and then you create a task sequence, which is a set of instructions on how you go about the unattended installation of Windows. And with that, you'll generate a custom Windows PE image that you then use to kickstart your deployment.
Okay. And the MDT, that version is going to do a light touch, zero touch. What options do you have as far as that goes?
It's a range. If you want to it depends on how much user interaction you want to have. You can provide that set of instructions that are very detailed and even data-driven. So the end user, you just need to start the deployment and then it'll run pretty much automatically. Or if you want to have your users give them more control over their installation and give them more choices, then you can just simulate the out-of-box experience of Windows, where they go in and they add their name and they add their organization and they choose which applications they want to install. And then they'll hit OK, and then they can leave and wait while the OS just goes through and takes the instructions that they fed it and installs itself.
Okay. What are some scenarios where maybe you're going to hit the limitations of the MDT, where you're going to say, hey, I need to look into other solutions or options?
We haven't run into that yet.
You haven't run into that yet?
No.
Okay. Okay.
We haven't.
Okay.
We have large companies around the world using it in multiple locations. For those who have that infrastructure and they want to take advantage of their System Center Configuration Manager installation, that takes some additional planning up front, but it makes it a lot easier. It can be IT driven instead of user initiated for the deployment. So you may want to switch to the configuration manager if you want to give the IT shop more control of what they're doing, and you have that infrastructure that you can take advantage of.
A little less interaction from the user standpoint.
Right.
What about scale of those two variations? Is there